Good evening. I am Tanisha LaVerne Grant, reporting live from the black carpet at UPTOWN Magazine's pre-Oscar Gala, one of the hottest parties in Hollywood. And tonight we are celebrating black men in Hollywood, and taking center stage are two amazing honorees, Tim Story and George Tillman Jr. So stay tuned, because this is the hottest carpet tonight. Tanisha LaVerne Grant, blackinamerica.com.
All this fabulous.
Thank you. Legendary Lunel. That's what I'm going to call you, Legendary Lunel.
I'll take that. My goodness, that sounds good to me.
Because you have blown the trail out and have paved the way. Who's one of your favorite young comedians today? And it's okay to have favorites. Y'all always want to be like, oh, you can't ask if somebody has favorites. It's okay to have favorites.
I can't really think of a favorite right now, because I don't want to say the wrong thing, because I do have some favorites, but I can't really think of one right now. But I will say that, you know, I'm only blazing a trail from the people who blazed the trail before me, you know.
Who are some of those?
Well, like the Laura Hayes, who's from Oakland, like myself.
Oh, wow.
And Mark Curry, who is also from Oakland, like myself. That was my big inspiration.
You remind me of Della Reese.
Do I?
Style that's like Della Reese, and then you guys have that weight and that raspiness to your voice as well.
Pearl Bailey sometimes. So, well, that's an ultimate compliment, and I'll take that. Thank you. I love Della Reese. God rest in peace.
So talk to me a little bit about what UPTOWN Magazine means to you and your career and the legacy of UPTOWN Magazine. It's hard to have publications these days still in print, and these guys they're holding on, you know.
You know, it's legendary, actually, to me. And I've been looking at UPTOWN for years, you know, like back when you used to look at Right On magazine and all that. Yeah, UPTOWN's just always been in the house, always been on the table. And it's so, you know, culturally enriching and full of information and beautiful photography, so.
Nice. So you have something coming out with Eddie Murphy, I understand. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, Eddie has a film that's going to be coming out on Netflix in May. It's called Dolomite Is My Name, about the legendary Dolomite, a.k.a. Rudy Ray Moore. And I have a lovely part in that film. And
it's a great cast, because Mike Epps is in that cast as well, Lunel.
Wesley Snipes and Craig Robinson, T.I., and a whole bunch of people. It's really going to be great. I'm excited.
And you're doing a show in Vegas, correct?
Yes, I have a residency. I'm 3 weeks in.
Got a residency in Vegas.
Yes.
Give it up. High five, Lunel.
At the SLS Hotel and Casino down by the Stratosphere.
Woo!
Every Sunday. Eddie Griffin, Monique, and I are all at the same theater. Eddie's there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monique's crazy ass is there Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And my crazy ass is there on Sunday.
Nice.
And I've been having fun. It's also a dream come true, because I'm such a Rat Pack freak and that whole era. So that's why when you said Della Reese, I'm like, good, because I'm trying to channel in that era.
Well, we're so proud of you. Thank you so much for your time. Continue blessings and success.
You can follow me on Instagram at Lunel, Lunell.
Yes, and I love the hand jewelry.
Oh, thank
Woo!
you.
I just did gloves today. You know it's Lexi, so I gotta
I
pull out
almost
with
had
the
on
jogging
mittens.
gloves.
It's so cold outside.
I know, right? Lunel, check her out. All right, we have the beautiful Sky. I'm sorry, I'm over 40, girl. I just had a mind flood. What's your last name, Jackson? Sky Jackson is on the black carpet tonight at UPTOWN Magazine's pre-Oscar Gala, honoring black men in Hollywood. Talk about some of the black men in Hollywood who have helped you or have helped inspire your career.
There's so many. I mean, one of my favorite actors is Denzel Washington. I think he's amazing. He's always been one of my favorites. Will Smith. There's just so many people on the list. I can't even name all of them.
Wow, you know what I love? I love that you're a young or were a child actor, and you're emerging into this beautiful, you know, like ingenue, who I'm sure is going to have a long career. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of things in store right now. I have a book coming out. It's called Reach for the Sky. It comes out October 1st. And I have 3 voiceover shows going on, YouTube channel. I just have a lot of stuff going on right now. Yeah.
So where can your fans follow you?
They can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Everything's just Sky Jackson, SKAI, Facebook, and everything's verified.
So what is your advice to young women who may be getting bullied?
I would just say, I mean, I've been bullied in the past too. I always say tell someone, tell your mom, tell a teacher, or even if you see someone getting bullied, make sure you stand up for them because sometimes they don't have that one person to tell them like everything's gonna be okay or help them through the situation because it can be a really hard time. So definitely speak up for that person and don't be afraid to fight back, and not physically fight back, but like verbally.
I like that. Thank you so much, Sky. It's a pleasure talking to you. Wait, can we get a I love this girl? Turn around, please. My New York girl, my New York girl. Listen, can we talk about the 6 nominations on Black Klansman? Congratulations, Damaris.
Every point.
Ah, girl. How are you,
Huh?
how are you feeling? I mean,
I feel great. I think we're all really, I'm out here for Spike. You know, it's his first time being nominated for Best Director, and it takes a village. And so I'm part of that village, and I'm going to be here with that tribe.
we are all out here for Spike. When I applied to cover the Academy Awards this year, I was like, come on now. Girl, when I got that email saying cleared, I was like, yes, because this year is so historic. Ruth Carter, Black Panther, Regina King, If Beale Street Could Talk. So tonight at the UPTOWN Magazine pre-Oscar Gala, we're honoring Black men in Hollywood. Talk to me about the legendary Spike Lee when you talk about Black men in Hollywood.
Oh, God. Spike is Spike. Spike, I say frequently that legends don't fit in. Anybody whose name you know because they didn't fit in, and Spike Lee is a man who didn't lead by what he looked like. He led with his art.
Wow.
And now we're all here celebrating.
Name like 2 things that you really took away from working with him.
2 things I took away when working with Spike. Do the work. Do the work. That's it.
You're so New York. That's why I love you. I will see you inside, my girl. We are live on the black carpet at UPTOWN Magazine's pre-Oscar Gala with the Mistress of Ceremonies, a media mogul herself, an HBCU alum, Spelman and Cheney. We got to stick together out here in these media streets.
And you know I'm a huge champion and supporter of yours, so I love seeing you doing this. I love seeing you doing this. Thank you. Thank you.
Talk to me a little bit. Tonight the focus is Black men in Hollywood. We're honoring Tim Story and George Tillman Jr. Talk to me about the impact that their films and their stories have had on the culture.
Well, I mean, you're in for a fabulous program. I was here earlier for rehearsal and had the opportunity to walk through. It's going to be a fabulous program. But I just think, you know, I shared earlier, like coming off of Oscar So White about 4 years ago, to recognize, to be here, to recognize Black men who are changing narratives, shaping culture, helping us to understand who we are, and also sharing with the world who we are is really, really powerful. So I'm just really excited to be here about all the work, and then there's Shaft coming out this summer. So there is so much happening. Yes, yes, yes.
I saw that. I was like, yes.
Yes, so I mean the work that both George and Tim continue to do to impact Hollywood and to impact culture and beyond the world in terms of how we understand and see ourselves. It's just so important. So I'm really honored to be here tonight. I'm excited to host tonight with who I call my host hubby, Chris.
UPTOWN is your family.
Chris Spencer. That is family for me, and I'm just really excited to be in the room. I've had an affinity and a connection to UPTOWN for many years, having worked with Lynn Burnett when I was the editor of Vibe Vixen more than 12 or 13 years ago. Yes, it's been a while, and so I'm always honored to support UPTOWN and always grateful to be a part of the Lexus family who has shown me so much love and also just really is about the work in the community. So I'm really grateful to be here, Tanisha.
We also talk about Black men in Hollywood. We have the legendary Spike Lee, whose Black Klansman has 6 nominations on it this year, which is pretty historic. So talk to me about the legacy of Spike Lee and what he...
Oh my gosh. Well, I grew up in New Jersey, so and with Spike growing up in Brooklyn, and he's also my Morehouse brother. So talking about the HBCU love, just Spike as a creator, as a director, I mean, the way that he told stories really spoke to me as a girl growing up in the Northeast. I mean, when I think about Do the Right Thing, I think about School Days. I mean, those were so important to me and helped shape the possibilities of what it could be. So to see Spike finally getting his due, and it's long overdue, quite frankly, so let's just be honest about it, because what he's done for culture over these many years, to finally have it acknowledged and to be nominated for 6 with Black Klansmen, I think it's our time. That's ultimately what it boils down to. It's our time. And so where I think it was so easy for us to stay in the background, not share as much, not say as much, we have to step to the forefront right now.
Take it.
And everyone has to take notice. How about that?
Thank you so much,
Good
Ty.
to see you. I'm going to give you a hug.
We are with one of my favorite all-time actresses, still a beautiful ingenue, Miss Melinda Williams.
Oh, an ingenue. Did you hear that? I'm an ingenue.
Yeah, you will always be an ingenue.
I receive it. I receive it.
Talk to me a little bit. Tonight, Uptown Magazine is honoring Black men in Hollywood, George Tillman Jr. and Tim Story. Talk to me a little bit about the contribution that they've made to the culture and the impact.
Come on. We're talking superhero movies. We're talking possibly the greatest family movie of all time, bar none, Soul Food, close to my heart, definitely.
Everybody loves Bird.
Everybody's
got a little bird in them.
Everybody got a little bird in them. That's right.
Trust
That's right. Thank you.
To live for you on Soul Food, and still do.
Yeah, so I hear. Even probably 4 days out of 7. Hey, Bird. So yes.
You look the same, girl.
Thank you. Thank you. That's my grandmama. That's good beauty. That's I got it honestly, and I take care of it. So, yes.
I love that you pulled out the crimping iron.
I pulled out the How about not I pulled out the crimping iron. I went and bought a crimping iron, cause this is right now. Right.
Perfect with the silver jumper.
Thank you. Right. A little disco chic.
You know what? We both are doing a little like.
I see you giving all kinds of fierce cake.
Yes. A little ode to mahogany in this like warm, wet or cold, wet LA weather. Should be warm, but it's not. So, a few of your favorite films, of 2018.
Oh, wow. My gosh. I can't even think of, I can't, honestly, I can't, I don't, I went to, I saw so many, tell me. Oh, yes.
Gina King.
Yes. Oh, my God, If Beale Street Could Talk was beautiful. Beautifully acted, beautifully shot. Oh man, everybody was gorgeous in it. Regina King was amazing. Ingenue Ellis was incredible. It was a great movie.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time.
Okay.
Hey, now,
How are you, Mr. Tillman?
Good. I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good. So how does it feel to be honored tonight by Uptown Magazine for its pre-Oscar gala?
Oh, that's great, because I love Uptown Magazine for years. Some of the articles and some of the photography they have in there really enlighten us about music, entertainment, and film, so I'm excited to be here.
You want to talk to us about your upcoming projects?
Well, I'm working on a pilot right now for ABC.
Wow, ABC.
And I got a new Angie Thomas who wrote The Hate You Give, my last film. Now she has a new book called The Come Up. It's a great book. It's debuted at #1, so we're going to be working on that next as well.
Wow, so when we talk about black men in Hollywood, who are some of the black men that have impacted your career, black men in Hollywood?
Oh, come on, Spike Lee, Albert and Alan Hughes, John Singleton, all these guys are great. They've been making films and impacting Hollywood for years.
So we are live on this amazing black carpet for Uptown Magazine pre-Oscar Gala honoring black men in Hollywood. And taking center stage tonight is Tim Story. Talk to me a little bit about some of the black men who have helped inspire your career as a storyteller.
Good question.
Thank you so much. That's some real journalism.
I was going to mention a few of them. Yeah, like Spike Lee, Robert Townsend.
Robert Townsend. You know what? To me, Robert Townsend does not get the credit he deserves. I don't know what is going on with that.
He doesn't get the credit. But Charles Schultz, Stan Lathan, there's so many that I just kind of look to, and I like comedy, so when I think of Sidney Poitier with Stir Crazy, and just there's so many that just inspire me, and you know, can't forget the ladies like Julie Dash and Maya Angelou. So there's just, you know, a lot of inspiring people out there that I like to remember.
So what is your writing process like?
My you know,
Do you have like a writing colony? Can you write with music on? Do you write more on a train ride?
It's early morning. Like anywhere early morning before others wake up. If I can kind of do that, then it kind of allows me to focus, because I don't believe a lot of other stuff is going on. Sometimes it's hard to shut off, but at 4 in the morning, nobody's doing much, you know, so.
And that's the beautiful creative hour.
Absolutely, absolutely,
yeah.
yes.
So talk to me a little about those moments where you're kind of having a difficult time turning a point in the story. Like, how do you get through that?
You know, sometimes I stop right where you are, leave everything where it is, and go watch a movie that inspired you, or go watch scenes. There's certain scenes I bring back, and if I'm able to, if I need more time, I'll go to a museum. What you got to do is you got to try to get away from what you're trying to solve, and it kind of loosens your brain up a little bit.
Okay, so another question, it's like when you hit the soundstage, the set of one of your very first projects, do you remember what was going through your mind?
Oh, wow, that's interesting. Well, there's just all I can remember is excitement. There's the excitement of arriving at a dream that you've always wanted. And when you arrive, it's just, you have to make it a point to stop and just absorb the moment, you know?
Because not enough people do that. When I interview young talent, I'm like, take this in, enjoy it, because it's not forever.
So true, yep.
So what is your advice to like young writers, young filmmakers, people who want to get in this game?
Well, look, the most important thing is to find your voice, and how you do that, and when you do that, it's hard to say, but what you should do is just keep putting out stuff. If you're a director, direct things. If you're a writer, write things. Don't make anything too precious, because get the idea out, go to the next thing, because what will become precious, you'll come back to. And so I just think sometimes we can say, this is my baby, this is it. Don't make it too precious. Don't choke it, because if it is special, you'll come back to it.
I love that. So when we talk about black men in Hollywood, we have the legendary Spike Lee, Black Klansman, nominated. Yes. Six nominations. Okay, let's talk about that part.
100%. No, I mean, it's just amazing. I saw Spike in New York recently, and no, New York, it was in London. And it was just so cool to see him kind of getting some accolades that we kind of believe he should have been getting for a while now.
It's like a Spike Lee movie for every chapter of my life. Exactly. For every issue, hard or, super hard, complicated, that there's a Spike Lee movie for that.
Spike Lee moment. I grew up with his films, and he was one of those directors that, told you as a black young boy coming up or whatever it is, that you could do it. And when you see somebody that looks like you, there's an empowering thing that goes on. So it's fun to see him. It's so great to see him getting the accolades I kind of think he deserves. So.
I love it. And we have If Beale Street Could Talk with Regina King.
Yes.
Ruth Carter. Yes. She will be the first African-American costume designer if she wins.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. She's amazing, and it's just great to see everybody nominated. And I can't. I don't want to talk about it too much. I don't want to jinx. I don't want to jinx
it. It's the pre-Oscar gala, but this is where we got to put that good energy.
Yeah, put the good energy out. I guess claim it, right?
Yeah.
Claim it.
So my last question to you, I want this, like, if you could have a conversation with, let's just say, like an artist, like maybe like Osua Tanner or, Gordon Parks. If Gordon Parks were to walk up right now, what would you want to say to Gordon Parks? You're like, oh snap, I really stumbled upon a real journalist on this carpet.
Gordon Parks, I have a real fondness, even beyond his movies, for his photography. And so I would really like to know how he did it. Like, simply that.
He's a Renaissance man before Renaissance man was even like that.
Yeah, well, it's like his eye was so so amazing that I would love it if he could give me just a little bit of a secret of how he did it. So, you know.
You're doing it.
Yeah, I'll try.
Okay, this is my last question.
Okay.
Sorry, my last question. So, what's coming up? Mr. Story, what's coming
Yes.
up? Let's talk about
As you speak of Gordon Park, I got Shaft coming out.
Yes, woo, baby!
With Sam Jackson, and we bring back Richard Roundtree and Jesse T. Usher and Regina Hall. Oh. And then I'm doing an adaptation of Tom and Jerry for Warner Brothers, which is one of my childhood cartoons that I grew up on. So I'm doing that, and that'll be out next year. So,
I love it.
yeah.
Tom and Jerry and Shaft.
Yeah.
Woo! High five, brother. Thank you so much. Lynn Burnett, you're back again with your legendary Uptown pre-Oscar gala.
Yes, we're here.
Wow, what does it mean, you know, in this space with everything that is happening in Black culture? We're having this major ascension. What does it mean to like honor these Black men tonight? We have Tim Story, who is coming back with Shaft.
Yeah, well, I love Tim. So Tim, what's great about this in particular is Tim I've known probably for well over 20 years. And George, along with his partner Bob Title, I've known for the same. And so it's a real special evening, one, because of the work they do, right? And look, they make movies that make you really laugh. They make movies that make you cry. They make you really, you know, think introspectively. They make films, I think, that oftentimes they weren't easy to produce, you know, in the beginning, or not easy to give someone like Tim the opportunity to produce. And so to see all that come to fruition, they really paved the way for a lot of what's happening now. And look, we got a long way to go, for sure, but I think you see, you know, like everything, you know, our culture permeates. You can't hold us back.
No, you can't.
You can't hold us back.
It's our time. It's always been our time.
Yeah, and it's just happening more and more. And the reality is that, look, our stories all haven't been told.
Yeah.
And so, and they're interesting. And so, look, this is a great time, I think. And again, more work needs to be done. But I think it's a time to celebrate. So that's what we're doing tonight.
What's so amazing is that we have your platform, Uptown Magazine. We love Uptown Magazine in New York City. And speaking of New York City, one of our favorite directors, Spike Lee.
Yes, yes.
Black Klansman.
Yep.
6 Academy Award nominations this year.
Well deserved. Great movie. And you know, what you love about Spike is, you know, he creates his films out of his passion points and pushes people to think. You know, it just, look, it's never just what it seems to be, which is great. And it agitates and entertains at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's what, you know, really allows the ball to move forward for everybody. And I think, again, what's more important, and Black Panther so did last year, and our films, while they're about Black culture and Black people, they're for everybody.
Yeah.
And that's just ringing true more and more, and Black Klansman certainly showed that as well.
Black Klansman is life. All of our stories are life. So one last question. I asked a couple of the honorees earlier tonight. You know, Gordon Parks was such a Renaissance man, an amazing storyteller, and definitely moved the culture. If he were to walk up to you right now, what would you want to say to him or ask him?
To Gordon Parks?
Yeah.
Oh man, there's so much. I mean, you know, I'd want this to, you know, to understand how he thought through his lens. Like what was his, when he went to take the shot or do what he did, like what was his thought process to know what was going to make it the shot that he wanted or the creative that he wanted. So, you know, just, and look, I always got to go back to Great Day in Harlem. Yeah, I mean, just because I live in Harlem, I'd really want to, you know, listen to that story. Yeah, and so, but at any rate, yeah, legendary, yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. Well, you know what? I just got here from New York. I didn't know what to put on. Got to make it happen. Thank you. So, Mr. Spencer.
It's my dad. I'm Chris.
Pardon me, Chris. But you're so legendary, and you've like, yeah, exactly. I gotta give respect where respect is due. You have earned your keep in this industry. So tonight, Uptown Magazine, you're, you know, part of the host team. You along with Ty Beauchamp, honoring Black men in Hollywood. Tim Story, George Tillman. Talk to me a little bit about the impact that those two men have made on our culture and film and television?
Let's start off with George with Soul Food. Okay. Soul Food, which was kind of based loosely on his own story. And it was, I don't know if it was the first time, but we really got to know and see a lot of different things that go on within the black family. Love, trust, lack of trust. We're all comedic, we're all dramatic, and for him to encompass all of that in one movie with all of that talent. Remember the talent, remember the cast.
Yes, Vanessa Williams, Melinda Williams.
Nia Long, I mean, it was Mekhi Phifer. It was just great to see.
It was amazing. Yeah.
Yes.
Tim Story.
And they're all my friends.
Yeah, and Tim
Tim Story's from LA.
Let's get on
So got to be proud of him. I mean, he's like, I think the only black director until Ryan Coogler to actually direct a Marvel movie. The Ride Along series we all know him from, but he's always been a great guy and one of those people who never changed. Whenever you see him, he's the same guy. Tim Story has the same story.
I love that. Thank you so much for your time. Here we are live on the red carpet at UPTOWN Magazine's pre-Oscar Gala with legendary casting director Robbie Reed, whose career just spans decades and story after story, working with people like Spike Lee.
Yes.
How proud of you are of Spike Lee? I mean, Black Klansman, nominated for,
Can I say?
it's 6 nominations.
6 nominations. It's so exciting. I mean, we've been waiting for this for a really long time, right? So I'm just super excited. And I'll be watching on Sunday from wherever I am. I'll be watching, hopefully from inside the space. But whatever, I'll be there rooting.
Let me ask you this. If he doesn't win in any category, what do you think will happen? Honestly, Robbie.
There'll be a lot of upset. I think that social media will probably crash from all of the comments. But I think we would have to take a long, hard look at things. You know, he really deserves it. A lot of people do. There's a lot of good material this year. But, Spike, 30 plus years, it's time.
To some of his most celebrated projects.
Yeah, I was there at the beginning. So from School Days on through Malcolm X. Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yes.
I remember watching an interview with him, and he was like, listen, we had to call our friends to get that movie made.
Oh, yeah. We went through a lot for that one. It was really, truly by any means necessary. But we got it done.
OPMs, Other People's Money, got Malcolm X done.
Hell yeah.
We love it. So when you talk a little bit about Tim Story and George Tillman.
Oh, wow. Well, 2 very prolific directors. I'm excited for them. I'm excited when anybody who, still here, putting in the work and has put in the work is, honored. So I'm glad to be here to be a part of that. I was able to work with George early on in his career with Soul Food.
I was going to say Soul Food, but I wanted you to tell it. So.
Okay, yeah, so I cast Soul Food. So I'm really excited for both of them. Wow. Mm-hmm.
And Tim Story has a great film that's coming out really soon. It's like Black Panther, Shaft. I'm all like, my mind is like running crazy.
Yeah, so he does. And Tim keeps putting them out too, so kudos. Yes.
Thank you so much for your time.